Hello everyone and welcome back to another Universe Sandbox video, and today we're going to be doing part 3 of the evolution and history of Universe Sandbox. So today we are starting off in Alpha 15 or Update 15, and this is actually the Pluto Encounter update, which is really cool as well. So Alpha 15 is the biggest update ever for Universe Sandbox 2, because remember it's still in the Universe Sandbox 2 years at the moment. So this is the first time, because if you remember last episode we finished with Alpha 14, Update 14, and the interface still wasn't really what we knew it as, but now in Alpha 15 we're starting to see what we know today, the first beginnings of what we know today. So as we can see, this menu is a lot more familiar than it was in the previous video, so yeah, pretty cool stuff indeed here. So as we can see in this update, they've updated Ceres, and also I think they've added the Pluto texture in here as well, which is really cool, because obviously Pluto flyby was in 2015, and yeah, as you can see the date here, July 9th 2015 is the update we're in currently now. So we've taken a bit of a jump from the previous update in Alpha 14. So without further ado, let's actually go ahead and explore what the game looks like. So here we are. So as we can see, the Milky Way background has been added into like the default simulation at the beginning now, or the old texture for it anyway. That's the older, or the old version of what the Milky Way used to look like in the game as well. And also if we look at the menu here, wow, look at that. There you go. So this menu is added back into the game. Now remember that button, the arrow. I've got to say, I really want to see this arrow back. It is so much more useful than what the one we have in the game at the moment. But one thing I'm just noting, look how responsive the menu is compared to the current game. This is way faster than the current game as well, which is pretty cool. But yeah, check that out. That's going really quick. Look how responsive that all is. I mean, that is lightning fast speeds there. Really cool stuff indeed. But yeah, I got to say, this arrow, I would love to see the arrow make a return in the current game, because the arrow is so much more useful than dragging it up and down, I have to say. Okay, so there we are. And also one thing I want to point out as well is the music in the game has been added. In the previous version, or in the previous videos, I had to actually add music in my edit, but this version of the game has music with it as well, which is really cool. So I think this must be the first version they actually added music in for as well. So that's pretty cool. But also one thing as well, moving on, look at this. This is quite cool. Having this, I don't remember this. This is a version before I started. I think I started in the next update in Alpha 16, I think is when I started playing this game. So yeah, I don't ever remember having this cool little feature here. That's quite cool. So you click on it and then you open it like that. I like it. Nice. So if we look at materials, organics is still in here as well. But obviously carbon dioxide has been removed for a few updates now. So there it is. So looking at the other planets, well, we can see Venus now takes the form as we know it, with its good old green sort of pale sort of green atmosphere. So that's just the sort of first incarnation of Venus's new look. Mercury as well, how are we looking at Mercury? This should have that old brown texture. That's looking cool. Earth as well. So these are starting to, this update looks like it's brought the textures as we know it to the game as well. This looks to be the sort of first incarnation of the textures we know and love today. So yeah, there's the Earth. Yeah, that looks a lot more similar to the way it does in the current version than it does in the older versions in the previous video. Here we have Mars, the old texture for Mars. Remember this? Look, there you go. See the North Pole? Looking pretty cool. But yeah, there's the old Mars texture. Very nice indeed. Obviously as well, Ceres. This was the first time they added the texture for Ceres in as well, which is really nice there. And obviously Jupiter and Saturn, they've obviously been the same for a long time now. Uranus, obviously that's the old texture for Uranus. And then Neptune as well. That's the texture it has today too, which is pretty cool. So there we are. And then Pluto, we can actually have a peek at you as well, as Pluto now has its current texture. Well, an early version of its current texture. Look at this. So Pluto, as we can see the detail on it, is nowhere near the way it is in the current game. So this is a very early draft of Pluto's texture, which is quite cool. So look at that. Huh, that's pretty cool. So there's the early version of Pluto there. Very nice indeed. Also, if we look at all the orbits, Sedna's orbit's still the furthest object out, which is pretty cool. Let's actually just see how fast the simulation runs, just out of curiosity, because this version seems to be performing really fast. Oh, where are we? I also want to check the sunspots as well, because remember with the sunspots, yeah, you can still see the sun sound effect, but the sunspots are still here in this version, so we can keep an eye on them. There they are. Oh, they disappear and change now. Look at that. Oh, that's so cool. So the sunspots actually appear and disappear. Oh, that's so cool. So there's another sunspot, and that's disappearing as well. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, we need that back in the game. That's really cool. That's such a nice little feature there. I really like that. Okay, so where are we? So it's like Jupiter's orbit's a bit glitched, probably trying to form a binary orbit with the sun or something. If we just speed it up, let's actually see how fast this actually runs. Oh my god, you can run this really quickly. Wow. Okay, so performance-wise, this version seems to be a huge step up from the previous versions we played in the previous updates. Looks like the inner planets have just been shot out, maybe. We ran the simulation too fast. So yeah, it looks like there was a fragment or a collision because we ran it too quickly. But yeah, that's still pretty impressive how fast that runs. But yeah, I've got to say, this is really, really cool. And actually, one thing we're going to do as well is we're going to do the good old... Oh yeah, your copy of Universe Sandbox is 2 years out of date. I think it's a little more than that now. So let's go into a new simulation. I want to do the good old Earth versus Mars collision again that we've been running tests in all the versions. So let's see how this test performs now in this version. And also one other thing to point out as well, UI Scutty is now added because at this point in time in 2015, UI Scutty was now discovered. So that took the role of the largest star away from VY Canis Majoris, which is pretty cool. Okay, so where are we? So Mars. Oh, listen to that, if you listen carefully. The game plays a little effect when you select an object. That's cool. Honestly, would like to see that back as well. That's a really nice little feature, having a little bit of extra sound effect there. Okay, so place Mars there. Okay. Well, I'm really, really impressed with how responsive the menus are, I have to say. That's really, really cool. Right, so it's a speed up time. Let's watch as these two collide. Okay, so here we go. Mars versus Earth. Can we turn off labels, please? Thank you. Okay, here we go. Right, so let's see how the game performs in this version. I have quite high expectations for this compared to the previous video with the other updates, the older updates we were doing. So that was Alpha 14 and below. So Alpha 15, let's see what you've got. Okay, here we go. Right, so as we can see, yes, running very smoothly as well, I've got to say. I'm not getting any lag. I can turn it as much as I want. That's really, really cool. Nice and responsive camera. So there you go. Earth versus Mars in update 15. So there you go. And yeah, that's all gone in smoothly there. So we see a nice big explosion as well. Very, very bright indeed. I like it. And yeah, I think it's a massive improvement over the previous one we did with Alpha 14. So really, really cool stuff indeed. And also if we speed up time, Earth will get very, very hot. Its surface texture will reset. And yeah, that's pretty much that done as well. But what we'll do as well is we'll run the other test by throwing the collided Earth into a Neptune now. Just see how that all plays out. So we're going to put Neptune there. Okay, so let's see how this runs. So let's speed up time. Come on. Okay, there you are. A little further, please. Yep. No, a little quicker. Don't want to go too fast, but here we go. So that's about to smash into Neptune. So let's just see how this plays out. Come on, a little quicker. You can see there's a bit of a weird glitch going on. If you just look carefully, it looks like the Earth's all glitchy at the moment because it's so hot. So let's just see Earth versus Neptune now. So let's speed up time a bit. Watch it go in. Here we are. So it's about to enter. Okay, get rid of that. So here we are. So Earth versus Neptune. So we are, again, the game very, very responsive indeed as we turn. You can see the lighting's a bit glitchy in this version, but yeah, there you are. So make it speed up a bit more. Obviously, big collision. Oh! Ah, I remember that glitch. Yeah, when back in the old days of the game, you know, update 15 and 16, so I remember this when I started. Whenever you collided a rocky planet with Neptune or Uranus, they always lost their texture, and then it put a random gas giant texture on. Oh, I remember that glitch. That was quite funny. So there it is. So as we can see, if we speed up time, that will probably make Neptune, or what's left of Neptune, very, very hot. But yeah, there you are. I'm trying to double click on it, but it's not actually letting me select it, so that's pretty weird. But there you are. The gas giant bands, look how the bands look when it heats up as well. The game don't look like that anymore as well, the way the gas giants heat up. So there you are. Yeah, it looks a whole lot different with a hot gas giant in this version of the game. Check it out. So there it is. And then that will just fly away. Cool. But I think one more thing I want to do as well. I want to try the performance test because I've got high expectations for how well this is going to perform in this version. So let's see how it does. And also one thing to note, look, they have changed the performance test simulations. That wasn't the first simulation we saw in the previous video as well. So that's pretty cool. Remember this one as well. Oh, the Earth's looking a little weird there with its oceans, but there we are. A little more laggy, but there is a lot of moons in there. So let's see. Okay, what we got next? The galaxy collision. How does that run? Okay, so we can see here, there was a few changes to the performance test simulation this time around. So let's see. Remember, we had like a score of 32 and 33 in the previous video. So let's see how this version gives us here. Okay, so collisions with the moon there. Very nicely done. Okay. Pretty cool. I think the moon textures had a change as well. I'm not sure. So yeah, there's the moon. Okay, cool. See the Earth in the distance there as well. Okay. Right, what we got next? Is that it? 120 average frames per second. Oh, it doesn't give us a score anymore, so we have to go by that now. So 120 frames per second. Remember that. Okay, cool. Right, so also one thing on the charts. Also, we still have all chart mode and stuff. That's the same. But one thing I just want to see what other objects we've got in here, because you can see they look very different. It's very, very primitive to what we know today. So, pretty cool. So, yeah, we've got Titan there. Obviously, not as many exoplanets, not as many. There's nowhere near as many stars in the main menu here. And also, one thing I want to note as well, I remember this. Dark, you had Jack-O-Lantern and you had Jack-O-Lantern Dark. So, check these out. We'll go into a new simulation. And check this out. I don't think that's in the game anymore, Dark Jack-O-Lantern. So you had, obviously, you had the normal one, you had the dark one, and then there was also this US one as well, which is quite cool. So, yeah, US2, so Universe Sandbox 2 Jack-O-Lantern. So what do you think of that? See, there was actually 3 Jack-O-Lanterns in the game at one point, but I believe we only have the normal one on the left now. I think that's the only one we actually have. So, yeah, there was actually 2 more that aren't in the game anymore, as far as I know. So, yeah, there are both of those guys. Any other objects? New Horizons, obviously, that was added in this update as well. And, yeah, there is pretty much the rest of it. I think if you go into stars, you can probably get a few more. No! Okay, so the stars at this point were very, very... Yeah, there wasn't many stars you could access. Look, there's... You don't even have Alpha Centauri B. So that's pretty crazy. No Proxima Centauri either that you can access. I'm guessing if you probably search it, you could probably find it. Let's have a quick look. So if I search Proxima... Yeah, okay, so so you can find it that way. So yeah, there's loads of objects you have to search up to access. But yeah, there you are. So that's pretty cool. So there's a good range of all the objects and versions, and you can still see as well Venus as well. Doesn't have its atmosphere on it straight away when you on the menu here, which is quite cool. But yeah, there we go. So that does it mainly for update 15. So I think we've covered mainly all of the new bits and bobs and all the way things have changed. So yeah, without further ado, guys, let's move on to update 16. Okay, everyone, so welcome to update 16, or alpha 16. So now we're in September the 12th, 2015. So we've taken another jump from, obviously, update 15. So a bit of extra information as well. Update 15, it first came out in May, but the version we were in was released in July, as that's obviously when the Pluto flyby was, because we was in update 15.2, not the original update 15. So just a bit of extra info there. So right now we're in September the 12th, 2015. So alpha 16.1 now. So here we are. So this is a small update as the team gets into gear after our work of the early access, because this is also the point where the game released on Steam, I believe. So yeah, welcome to the first Steam update of Universe Sandbox as well, the first version that came out on Steam as well. So pretty cool. So check it out. I believe this was the first version, so I'm not exactly sure, but just looking at what Brent told me in our conversation, I believe he said that Universe Sandbox as we know it, so the version we're in here, this was released in 2015, he said. So okay, cool. Right, so looking at the changes again, so let's see what we've got this time. Okay, so the menu's super responsive once more. Look at the way, I quite like how the menu flashes up and down like that. I like that. Look at that. That's quite cool. I like that little animation. Look at that. I really like that, actually. That's cool. Okay, so as we can see, Venus has now got its clouds as we know it. So all of the planets as we know them, they all look the same as they do in the current version of the game. They're all looking, yeah. So the main 8 planets, they all look the same. Pluto's got its texture properly implemented now. So if we head to Pluto, as we can see, looks like, yeah, Pluto's got its texture all fully incorporated in now as well. Very nice indeed. If looking at the sun as well, let's keep an eye on the sunspots. Are they on this version? No. Okay, so it looks like Alpha 16 is what we're in here. That was the update to remove the sunspots from the game. And also, I can't hear any sound effect from the sun anymore. Interesting. So no sunspots, and it looks like the sounds of the sun were removed in this version as well. So that's interesting. But what happened to the sunspots? I want to know what happened to the sunspots. They're really, really nice little cool little feature there. What happened to them? So yeah, there we are. Let's also Control D. I just want to see how fast the simulation runs. So let's just see. I'm guessing this will run fairly... Yeah, that's running really, really quickly as well. Very nice indeed. How does it perform when we're... Yeah, look how quick it performs. Even when running this simulation at high speed, look how everything performs. Very, very fast. That is lightning quick compared to the game in its current form. I mean, I'm very, very impressed with how fast this was. Look at that. Man, I only wish the game... Oh, imagine if the game could perform this quick. in the current version, because sometimes it's a little laggy when you open this menu. But look how fast it opens in this version. That is absolutely insane. And speaking of insane, look how fast this runs as well. Let's see how far can we go. So as we can see now, it's starting to struggle a bit. I mean, we are going ridiculous speeds here. Look, we can actually watch Sedna in its orbit actually go around because of how fast we're running this. I mean, this is just insane. So how do the orbits look at the moment? I mean, yeah, they're all intact actually. Look, there you go. So they're all sitting fairly comfortably actually. So that's pretty cool. That's also one thing I want to do. I want to do the good old performance test again, and I want to see if it improves or goes down. So remember, our score was 120. So let's see if we get an improvement or we get a downgrade in this version. So we can sort of see how the game has evolved over time. So, oh, this is new as well. Look at this. So the gas giant around the sun, or the star there. So that's pretty cool. So we can see that's a new one that's been added. We still have the Earth and all the moons. Okay. See, the water on it changes. That's really weird. So, there you are. Okay, what we got next? So we should have the galaxy collision again. Yep, that's in here. So we can see they've made a few changes to this this performance test over the time. So there we are. So galaxies, and then lastly we have Saturn versus Neptune. I remember this. Yeah, cool. So that's one of the simulations you can actually access in the game. Cool. So that's testing the particles. And then lastly we also have the moon collisions as well. This one looks a lot quicker than the update 15, I believe. Oh, music changed as well. Cool. Okay, there you are. Nice. Okay. So what score are we going to get this time then? So I think it'll be better than 120. No, 112. Okay, so we've actually gone down. Although it looked quicker. I thought it looked quicker. So apparently we've actually lost 8 frames a second. Interesting. Okay. Right. So there we are. And then any other bits? I mean, yeah, we've got all the backgrounds are still the same. Obviously, the Milky Way background, that's still the same as it was in the previous update as well. But yeah, like they said, update 16 was only a small update. So without further ado, yeah, we're going to move on to the next version, guys. So now we're going to hop into update 20, or update 17, I should say. And this is the beginning of 2016 now. So yeah, without further ado, let's hop onto that. Okay everyone, so welcome to update 17 now, and I was actually wrong. This update actually did release before 2016, so we're in November the 16th, 2015 now. And as we can see, Alpha 17 introduces better looking star glows, a new Halley's Comet simulation, and 2 values which show how similar a planet is to Earth. And yeah, the chance of it forming life. So that's the life likelihood thing and all that. So there's also a Make Pulsar 2 as well. So yeah, there we are. So yeah, not the biggest update either here. So here we are. So I'm guessing most things are the same. Obviously no more sunspots, they're still gone. Milky Way background, that's still the same. I mean, most things here are going to be the same. So actually, Venus, what's going on at Venus actually? What's this all about? So its atmosphere isn't working properly. Interesting. So oh, it's very, very hot. It's actually hotter than it normally is, into the 600s. Venus normally sits around in Universe Sandbox, Venus normally sits around 400, but in this version, Venus is extra hot. So there you go. So it loses its atmosphere. Wow. Okay. So we'll see all the other planets the same. I don't know why Jupiter's looking non-spherical there. That's really weird. Looks fine here. So that's, yeah, that is weird. So there we are. I'll see all the other stuff looks fine. Okay, there we are. So without further ado, I mean, there isn't really any new features here. So you can see the menu still opens really, really cool. So I really, really like the way that menu works, honestly. It looks like more stars are added now. Look, so you can see the database, or the main list here. There's a lot more objects to choose from in the main object here. It looks like Pollux and Fomalhaut don't load up properly there. That's really weird. But yeah, there you go. So there's a full lineup of all the objects. And yeah, they a lot more added in the hours, which is pretty cool. And also, again, we're going to run the performance tests. We're going to see. So we had 120 in update 15. Then update 16, we had 112. So let's see what update 17 gives us. So yeah, and then we'll finish off on this update for the day as well, guys. So yeah, in the next video, we're going to start with update 18, which I think it's either 18 or 19, which is the version I started in. I can't remember for sure, but I'm pretty sure as soon as I look at the dates of what update or what update released at what time, I should be able to work out the version I started in. But yeah, it's definitely going to be coming up in the next episode, I reckon. So yeah, stay tuned for that. And also, if you enjoyed this video as well, guys, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more. Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. And yeah, I'm looking forward to filming the next one of these already, I have to say, as we move into the 2016 era of Universe Sandbox 2. So Yeah, pretty cool. We've come quite a far way since 2008 now. Looking at the first video we did in this series where we checked out the original game, and obviously last video where we checked out the first versions of Universe Sandbox 2, we can see a lot has changed, and there's so many things added to the first version of Universe Sandbox 2, and just massive improvements over the original game as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to going further into the future for the next video. And as we can see, update 17 has actually given us the best performance so far at 124 frames a second, so it's beaten both versions out. Yeah, so we had 120, 112, and now we're at 124, so we've had a massive improvement in performance as well from the previous version. So yeah, what do you think of that? So obviously speeding up time again, we can also run this simulation very, very quickly, just to get a big taste of it as well. And yeah, this still opens very, very fast and responsive as well. I wish the game was that quick at the moment. I mean, look at that. I love that. That is so... It's so smooth and fresh and fast. Yeah, I really, really like that. But yeah, there we are, guys. So that does it for today's video of checking out the history and the evolution of Universe Sandbox. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Leave a like. Let's see if we can go for 40 likes on today's video as well, guys. Subscribe for more. Help us on a journey to 30,000 subscribers. And yeah, that all said and done, make sure you have a great day. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.